All right, well, I'm having a terrible hair day, so just ignore that. Hello everyone, my name's Lisa, and I'm the Viet Vegan, because I'm Viet and I'm vegan, and today is a recipe video sponsored by California Pears. I've worked with California Pears before. I made some epic pear sausage fennel seitan. Those are not the words that are in the order. Pear and fennel sausage seitan. Words are hard, but it was really good. It's a really simple recipe and a bunch of you guys have made it and told me how much you like it. But we got some grilled cheese here. Actually, kind of inspired by two market girls a couple weeks ago, months ago. I can't remember when it was, but they made a non-grilled cheese that blew my mind, and I was like, I'm never not having grilled cheese without naan ever again. Clearly, I've already made this recipe, but we gotta start from the beginning. So before we get into the taste test, let's just show you how I made it.
All right, to start off this recipe, we're going to caramelize a bunch of cooking onions. Now, I caramelized 4 here because if I'm gonna go through the trouble of caramelizing onions, I'm gonna do a bunch because I like to put them on everything. For like say 2 or 3 non-grilled cheeses, you probably only need to caramelize 1 or 2 onions. But like I said, if you're gonna go through the trouble, it takes the same amount of time. You might as well just do a bunch at once, and why not? It's a delicious time. So I have slivered all of these onions. I cut with the grain instead of across the grain because I just find that the texture is much more enjoyable when you caramelize them. And I just used some vegetable oil here. I think this is sunflower or canola oil. I don't know. I use them pretty interchangeably. So I just dump all of these caramelized onions into a pan on medium heat. And then once it like is steaming like this, it starts to kind of like caramelize or like make the onions more translucent. So then I bring down the heat to like medium low or low to really bring out the sweetness of caramelized onions. You really need to cook them at a lower temperature for longer to just really caramelize it. Some people like to speed it along by adding some sugar, but I really don't think you need to. Onions are already quite naturally sweet, especially if you use the yellow cooking variety, or you could even use the Spanish cooking variety, which is even sweeter. Now on to the star of the show, some California pears. Now, I like pears in this recipe because it adds a lot of sweetness, but adds a nice little crunch as well. California pears contain antioxidants and are a good source of fiber, vitamin C, potassium, and folic acid. So not only are they a delicious snack, but they're also healthy and good for you too. So basically, you just give it a little rinsey rinse. You cut them and you quarter them and cut out the core part. And then you want to slice them into fairly thin slices to put in the grilled cheese. If you have quite thick slices, the grilled cheese might not hold together very well and the eating experience might not be that great. So you want to cut into thin slices if you can. All right, so now that you have your pears sliced up, I like to start by cutting my naan in half. You can make full naan, like 2 pieces of naan grilled cheeses, but personally I find that's too much grilled cheese for me. I know, impossible, but I like to have the flat side of the naan out and have like the bumpy, kind of irregular, beautiful side on the inside. So you're gonna tessellate some vegan cheese. I used follow your heart cheddar cheese slices here, and then you add your beautifully caramelized onions on top in a nice thin layer, not too thick, otherwise it's just gonna be too much. And then you're gonna add some slices of California pears. Like I said, the Bartlett ones are quite sweet, but they hold up quite well in cooking, so it's ideal for this sort of situation. And then you add another layer of cheese. I use the mozzarella follow your heart slices on top of this, and then you slap on the other side of the naan. It's a good time. All right, so in a pan, I'm just gonna use the same pan that I did before because who doesn't love more onion flavor? You know what I'm saying? You're going to melt about a rough tablespoon of vegan butter on the pan. Usually you can spread it on the outside, but I prefer to melt it. It just makes everything a little bit easier. And then you slap that bad boy onto the pan. Now that it's on the pan, cook on medium, low to medium, depending on how hot your stove gets. But then I like to cover it with a lid because I just find that it keeps the heat in and it helps melt the cheese a little bit better. Cook for about another 2 or 3 minutes, depending on how hot your pan gets. You just want to check the bottom. And if it's browned and delicious, then you slice up and then you serve it. That's it. Now let's eat it.
I'm very excited to eat this. Oh my gosh. The hardest part of this recipe is honestly caramelizing the onions because that takes the longest time. So let's give it a little taste test. Sorry, those are like not words. But honestly, the caramelized onion and the pear just add like a really nice sweetness to the savoriness of the whole experience. Instead of like putting on butter like you would spread butter on toast before, or not toast, on bread before you make grilled cheese, I decided to just melt the butter on the pan instead. And it made this a lot easier and a lot less messy for the action, you know what I mean? And it got the same sort of like browning. Very delicious. Yeah, the pear really adds like, I'm not just saying this because it's sponsored, but it really does add a really nice sweetness. They pair really well together, like pear, cheese, well, vegan cheese, and caramelized onion. I kind of want to eat this as a pizza. I'm gonna keep eating these. I have 2. This was the one that I burned. This one is the one that I learned from. Yeah, if you guys want to learn more about California pears, they have a lot of information about like their farmers, their growers. I'll leave a link down below. The recipe is pretty straightforward, but some of you have asked me for a grilled cheese recipe before, and I was like, I mean, just grilled cheese with extra stuff in it. But you know, here it is. Here's the recipe for you. I'm gonna do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. If you did, give it a like, comment down below. Have you tried caramelized onion and pear and grilled cheese before? Like, I feel like this is not like a novel concept, but I just want to like remind you that this is a good time. But yeah, do you like pear in like a savory situation? Because I'm into pear in a savory situation, clearly, because I made sausages last year. It's just great. And I like eating them on their own. That's probably my favorite way to eat pears, but I kind of want to make a pear sauce, like a pear applesauce, but like with pear. Because I had that once when I was in California. It was like in a jar, and I was like, pear sauce? Pear applesauce? What do you call that? What is applesauce made with not apples? Pear sauce? That sounds like a spreadable sauce. Spreadable? That's not words, but pear applesauce was a delicious time. Highly recommend. Okay, I'm gonna stop yammering on. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you California Pears for sponsoring this video. I will see you in the next video. That's not how I end these videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a delicious day. Bye. Am I just really that tan? Oh God. I like really, man. Kitchen's a mess, everything's awful, but I have some epic grilled cheese to eat, so we will take it.